Hi,
Hi,
welcome back to Two Kims.
one pod.
I'm your first Kim, Peter Kim.
I am your second and only other Kim, Unji Kim.
That's right, and we are the last podcast on Earth. Welcome to the apocalypse, y'all. Okay, it was a time. I'm not proud of it. I could see those things coming back and canceling me. Now, moving on to Austin, the canceled city of Texas.
Jesus Christ. Yes.
I First of all, if you guys don't know, there's been a mass exodus to Austin since the pandemic. And that became like a boom town or whatever of comedy with one club. And it's
Two and a half, I think. Two and a
yeah,
half.
two and a half. And it's now completely a bust because everyone there is basically a fake ass, like, rabble rousing conservative that lives in the gayest city in Texas. Like
Hmm.
what? Like if you're that conservative, why aren't you in Houston or like Dallas, Fort Worth or whatever, right? Like you're living in the San Francisco of Texas and you're like fuck the woke. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Sure.
Secondly, the comic is there are all in that zone of like calling each
Edge
other R
Lord.
word, edge lords,
Yes.
saying the N word to each other, like all of that to be as only as a response to progressive politics. Like there is no other point of view besides fuck the woke, which is very like Republican in general. That you have no
Sure.
ideas, you're just like not that. So you can't build a comedy career or a you can't be an artist without a point of view. Your point of view can't be like, well, I'm not that. Like that's not good enough to sustain. And now we're seeing in the last 5 to 6 years the comedy scene in Austin breaking down, people leaving, moving back to LA, moving back to New York, blah blah. What are your thoughts on like the comedy scene breaking down in Austin? Do you think the people who move there are regretting it?
No, because I think the people that move there are opportunists, period. Right? If you're moving there because you saw Austin as this like potential like boom town because you yourself didn't feel like your
You couldn't make it in
brand.
your large city.
Yeah, it's like your brand of comedy wasn't being rewarded in whatever quote unquote woke city you are from, a
Right.
bigger, better city.
Right.
Then you are an opportunist who is hoping to capitalize on this one note point of view,
Yes.
this one note type of comedy that does not actually foster anything like truly artistic, right? Like there's no investigation of self. I've never
No,
seen there's no like
not at all.
enhancing. I'm not learning anything about these people aside from the fact that they think that is stupid. So,
Right.
like there's a part of me where as a comedian, for sure, there are parts of our craft where we are putting holding up a mirror to culture and society and the audience. But it should be a mirror, not a funhouse one. And not only that, but you should also be able to provide a window into your experience to the audience.
Yeah.
They do not do that. They
No.
only give you the funhouse mirror, and it is also such bad writing. It creates such bad habits, and no one is.
Horrible writing.
And it's like, and it's also,
Horrible.
and it's being rewarded. That's the part that's the most dangerous, right? It's being really rewarded. It's creating spoiled children of comedy.
Now, it was being rewarded. I think that is slowing down. And why I'm saying that is because I just recently regrettably checked out um what the fuck's his name special? Oh, God. Bill, no, not Bill. What's the guy who does Fighter and the Kid?
Spider and the Kid.
Fighter and the Kid. You don't know Brendan Schaub?
Yeah, yeah. The other guy, what's his name?
Bill something?
Brian Callen
Brian Kelly.
from Mad
So
TV.
from that TV, yes. um, he just released his special from the mothership, and
I didn't
he
realize he was doing an hour.
He did an hour.
of
He teased
original
it.
material.
I don't know if it's original, but he did it out of his mouth. And he teased it on Rogan. And Rogan was like, "Oh, your special is so good. It's so fucking relevant. It's so now, blah blah blah." Um and he called himself like the Philosopher's Stone or some shit like that. He had some like hoity-toity like name for it. And he basically told him like, "Oh, your special is gonna do so well. You're gonna be selling out arenas, and you better buy yourself a nice car. You earned it. What are you gonna buy? A Maserati? Blah blah blah." And it came out, and it absolutely fucking tanked. It has, I think, it's struggling to reach like 200K views, and his final like literally last joke is something something something, and isn't it crazy that the device we're all staring at also called the Apple? And then he like drops his mic to silence, and then walks off. First of all, no one calls their phone an Apple. Okay.
No,
That's a number one. Like, you thought you were making such a good point. I don't even care what the point was. Like, you have to
what
at
was the
least
point?
get it right. I don't know. Something about like, I don't know, the apple and the tree, I guess.
Knowledge. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Being like a purveyor of sin or whatever. But like, you can't call this like, oh, and then they call it the portable phone. It's like, we don't call it that. No one calls it that. You can't mic drop on something that no one relates to.
And they call it a cellular device.
Yes. A car telephone. Like, what are you saying? It's so fucking bad and cringe. And so I've been like following this downfall, and he's talking to Brendan Schaub, who is arguably, not so arguably, the worst comedian to ever hit a stage ever. His special is
Wow. You're giving him that superlative? I don't know if he's the best.
no, he's the worst, I said.
I'm saying the worst, like that you're giving him like he's the worst. Like I don't know if he's like the ist of anything.
Well, his special is the worst. It's widely known as like, oh, are you gonna Brendan Schaub? Like, he's become a verb where like you shit the bed on your special, right?
Wow.
And
Okay.
he released it. I'm sure you've seen that special, Gringo
I've seen parts
Poppy.
of it after you because we've talked about it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Gringo Poppy is like widely known, at least in the comedy circle, as like the biggest like nuclear explosion possible. And he's quit comedy since.
Yeah.
And these guys are all guys that Rogan platformed, right? And
Sure.
was like, oh, this guy's funny, he's hilarious, blah blah. You're gonna buy a Maserati after your fucking special, and it bombs. And on their podcast, Brian Callen's going, everybody hates me. No one, I can't get booked. I don't understand. Like, I thought the special was great, and like I can't get gig. I can't get like booked. I can't tour. And he's like
Sure.
crying to his friend about this. Meanwhile, the week before, Rogan was like, "You're gonna buy a fancy car, bitch." Like, so that's just that anecdote alone shows you that how Austin has petered out completely as far as like influence and a comedic boom or whatever you want to call it, a mecca.
Because the cultural relevance of the anti-woke movement,
It's
I think,
over.
I think, because Marin said it best, is like you won.
Yeah. What
You
else?
what I mean.
You got everything.
So at this point,
Now what?
not like it's the Azalea Banks. Like, yeah. Now what?
Yeah.
Like you won. You guys won. And now you have to have another point of view. And not only were you one note, but now because you've won, you're also punching down. So it's so many comedy sins that you are committing at the same time
Correct.
that even I think the lowest
sycophants.
yes,
Yeah.
the lowest common denominator cannot tolerate
Yes.
the taste.
And they're realizing that this mecca of comedy that like it opened up doesn't have enough spots for those hundreds of comedians that are out
Sure.
there.
Sure.
Like there
Yes.
just aren't enough stages. So like you called it a boom, but you only made it boomy for you and your six friends. So like I think those under comedians are now realizing like, oh fuck. What the fuck did
Right. And also, if your comedy city isn't welcoming or at least giving a lot of opportunities to different kinds of voices, you're not a scene.
no. You're,
That's
you're
not
barely a
what
city.
you know what I mean? Like if you want a comedy scene, that means that there's like this kind of comic, there's this kind of comic, there's this point of view. There certainly might be an identity. There might be a overarching like vibe to all
Vibe.
the comics because you're all living in the same fucking city. But aside of that, like if you're talking about any sort of artistic movement that comes out of any city in any time, it is not about the one singular point of view.
Yeah.
It's the idea that we could have the freedom and
And that
many.
one figurehead. Like no, I can't remember any city being like, oh yeah, we're all doing this because of Ron White. Or like we're all doing this because of Bobby Lee. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
Kathleen Madigan. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
you're
no
like,
one's
what?
doing that because also I think if you think about it and you think about art in particular, there was an era where that was seemingly the thing that all the art was supposed to only support one viewpoint, and that was in 1930s Berlin.
Yeah. Or
You
like
know,
the Catholic Church.
like I mean, that was
Yeah.
like it was one kind and there's that like lady film director that's like sometimes platform because like this specific type of like movie was supposed to be interesting and good, but it's just that one.
Yeah.
And like it's like that's sort of a testament to the fact that if you don't allow freedom, if you don't allow, there's no plurality. It is not a scene, it is not a city that welcomes art.
No.
It
It's
is
just a big
anathema to
cult.
that
Yeah. It's
cult of
just a big cult.
personality.
That's it. And these younger comedians, the ones that are not regulars at the comedy mothership, I
Uh-huh.
think are realizing like, oh, there's not enough spots. The city is not culturally diverse or rich enough to sustain me being a working comic. And it's hot as fuck out here.
And
And the
also it's not
property
making them
taxes are
better.
crazy.
But it's not, and
No.
also it's not making them better. Nothing about that scene and being in that milieu is making them work harder, be better, or be better writers, question things. Like it's not, you're just constantly working against an idea that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with it. Like,
It's sad. It's sad
I
to
mean, and
watch.
again, like there's like plenty to skewer and lampoon regarding political correctness, right? There's nothing wrong with that inherently. Absolutely not. But the I could tell you how any like a lot of Austin comics type like 10 would go.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Like it's going to be, something topical off the bat, something derogatory about their own, you know what I mean? Like the city, blah blah blah, and ends with like a big trans joke. Like it's the thing
Correct.
that they do.
Correct.
And
That's what Louis was saying about going back to our offline conversation about the Bad Friends episode with Louis. He's
yeah.
like, everyone has this four things that they're talking about. It's like boring. Like I don't care. Like none of you care, and we don't care. And also, I think we should be going back to, or not going back to, but like really like revisiting the way we do political comedy, right? Like you said, there's plenty to skewer on the political correctness and the other side too, in the incorrectness, but like you have to do both. You cannot, and I'm talking about like LA comedians too, like East Side comedians who are like, oh, fucking MAGA and Trump and blah, blah. It's like, okay, yes, but like you also have to skewer the other side yourself and the group you belong to, because that's the same thing they're doing. Like you
Hmm.
can't just be of one political mind as a comic. You have to make fun of all of it. like, or else you're not doing the job.
Yes.
You know, it
I mean,
becomes
yes.
boring.
I also think that there's a part of political comedy or skewering that you can do where it threads the needle, where you are not only you're not pledging allegiance to either side, but simply
Correct.
questioning the reality, asking all of us to consider it again.
Yeah.
That maybe it's not as it seems,
Yeah.
right? And there's a part of it where I think that is harder because it requires the comics to also
Read.
consider it again
Yes. Yeah. That's
and like think
why,
about it.
yes. And comics used to be well read people. Like that, it's become too pop culture now that like any schmuck is doing it and doing crowd work or whatever. Like, you have to be intimately aware of what the fuck you're talking about so that you can have a take on it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you can't have a take on or slant on something if you don't understand it. If you're just doing the headlines of like, trans, like, that's not a take. Like, you
Yeah.
need to have, anyway, all that to say, I really love watching the Austin comedy scene struggle now because it's it it really shows that like the short-sightedness of this quote unquote comedy boom, and
Yes.
everybody was looking for a shortcut into like becoming a world-class comedian or whatever the fuck Joe Rogan says, like only 250 world-class comedians alive right now, and I'm one of them. And it's just like, it's crazy. And the fact that like, I don't know if you heard this, but he has like ex Navy SEALs at guarding the green room. So yeah, so like the green room is like only allowed if you are like passed into the green room, even as a comic. Steph Tolev just talked about how she went to do comedy, whatever, Mothership, and she got kicked out of the green room.
Are
She,
you serious?
yes, crazy, right?
This is when the outsiders become insiders. Like it's this is I mean, power corrupts absolute, you know what I mean? Like that's so fucked
It's
up.
so ugly. It's so ugly.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. She got kicked out of the green room because Joe apparently like Joe didn't know who she was and was like, "Get her out of here," and it kicked her out. It's like, I'm performing here. But apparently it doesn't matter. Like, you have to be like ingratiated into that green room because it's a holy space. It's a sacred space that like comics could say whatever the fuck they want. You know, it's that. It's like basically like you just want to create a room of bad behavior and just call it like comedy haven. Like, stop saying comedy. Just say that you're awful people who want to be around awful people. Like, stop using the umbrella of comedy to be like First Amendment warriors. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, write a joke first and then you can say you're a comedian. Like, all you're doing is doing recycling the same trans joke and being like, "Oh, I don't want anyone to tell me not to do it." So we have Navy SEALs guarding the green room. It's
It's really,
ugly.
I mean, there's a part of me where, we were talking about how this is a hater's market,
Uh-huh.
right? It really is. This is the era of the hater. I do bemoan, like you were saying, that comics used to read. Like it's not. I think it's beyond like that. Comics used to be thinkers or what have you. I feel like now being charming
Mm-hmm.
is enough.
Well,
Like
yeah.
there's a part of it where absolutely
It's
there's
the
always
era
been,
of the personal appearances.
and there's also been always been people and comics who were like that. They were the personality hire of any scene. And they
The Dane
also,
Cooks.
I mean, but Dane was writing. Like Dane had fucking new hours and he was touring, he was telling stories. It was very novel. But it was that plus personality. He was very personable. But it wasn't like, there are plenty of people that were just personality that wound up being pulled out and they were hosts. They were
Uh-huh.
this, right? Like
Like
there's
host
plenty
of
of those,
Fear Factor.
right? hosts and like just people that wind up becoming talking heads or panelists or what have you. And good. That's fine because that is in and of itself a skill that I will not take away. It is a talent, absolutely. But that is not enough to do an hour. It's barely enough
Um,
to do a half a Comedy Central presents.
yeah, it's
So
I think
it's
the
just yeah.
idea of the hour has completely disintegrated because people are out there doing Q&As for an hour. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're not
Remember
putting
when they're
yeah.
Remember when they at City Winery they told us that
Yeah.
Sonia
Sonia
Morgan
Morgan.
just took her top off.
Yeah, because she was bombing.
She
And I
goes,
was
she
like,
was bombing.
wow, I didn't realize I could do that.
I don't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Like you do have to give it up for her. Like that is a new idea.
Well, that's what I mean is that like these venues don't care that you are doing good work. It doesn't, it actually matters. It matters less if you are actually good. It's can you draw, right? So like we've we've gotten into this zone of like comics used to inhabit this space, this touring space, this 1 hour show space, right? This like live theatrical event space as like the only people to do it like what we do. But now every motherfucker with a TikTok is touring their show, their personal appearance show. So I think the public has gotten a little confused about what comedy is as well.
Yes, I mean what I won't take away from if the people that go to see these content creators, it's TikTok people, and they have a good time. They have this parasocial relationship with them. I'm at this point now, Peter, where I'm like, okay, fine. Like this is what you want to do with your $60, and this is
Yeah.
what they're having fun with for sure. I will say that as even a person that enjoys comedy and a person that's living in this current culture, I would be hard pressed in our lifetime to think of a time that needed comics and people to skewer what's happening in our culture right now. Like this is like the moment where it's needed the
The
most.
most.
Like
But
an
we, you
independent
know,
thinker that is
right.
weaving and able to, and also in a live space that isn't online, isn't digital, but you're with other people, shoulder to shoulder, laughing out loud in a space together, and you're looking at this person and you're feeling that connection. Hard pressed to think of a more important moment in time where that is needed.
Correct. But it is the worst time to be appreciated. Exactly what you said about like skewering political space, whatever, making points. It's all over the internet. So like
Yes.
it's no longer like at the clubs that you get it.
But when you say it's all over the internet, yes. But I do think that there is something to be to like a comic doing it where they've written it out, they've thought about it, and like they're not super slanted one way or the other, like that. Where it's like the meaty middle, like being able to capture people that are like have a sensible take on things that isn't pushing them into either radical space, like, but rather trying to be like, isn't this weird? Have we thought about it this way?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like this, right? Or, like that moment and being able to share it with other sensible human beings, not in this rarefied digital hole where you're spinning around in your own like sort of circle, like that.
I agree.
Where
I agree. It's necessary. I just don't know if the general public has an appetite for it.
I just I hope because the people that are listening to this podcast, the 25 of you, so good. But
Uh-huh.
I'm saying that like I think I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that I feel like most people hold a lot of different viewpoints.
Yeah.
They may be one extreme and one with one thing, another extreme with another. And so if you go to see someone, a comic that may be also the same, but maybe in the opposite ways, right? Now all of a sudden you can laugh about this other thing that you may have strong feelings about because you also agree with them on another thing.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden we're seeing each other and the plurality and laughing together, and it's like not a big fucking deal. It doesn't mean that you are a crazy wackadoo left wing person. You're not a crazy wackadoo right wing person. I think we're forgetting that sometimes people are just like in the middle, like not even in the middle, but like just having like a lot of different ideas about a lot of different things. Not being like a monolithic, like not having a monolithic opinion about everything in culture. Right. And I feel like when we are online and inside of these like TikTok algorithms, we feel like we get there because that's like all the algo that we see,
Yeah.
you know? I feel like this is the moment. It really does feel, I don't know, if you think that like Austin is done, right? Like if it's, because you're right, I do feel like a little bit like the moment for that comic might be passing.
Yeah.
Um, do you see something that will supplant that inside of the space?
Inside of Austin,
Inside of like comedy, because comedy's still huge.
I mean, comedy's always going to be comedy. I'm talking about Austin specifically has fizzled. I'm not saying
Do you,
comedy has fizzled. I'm saying the Austin sphere has lost its sheen.
do
And
you think another sort of thing will come in its place
again, in Austin or in comedy?
in comedy?
I think in comedy, yeah, of course, because it's always evolving. So some other like fad will take on, clowning or whatever the fuck, like. But
Clowning is huge.
I think Austin is dead.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's all they had. They like literally went all in on the anti woke POV, and it has completely faltered. So it's like, okay, and their president and their senators and their House member, like their Supreme Court, they have everything. So like that's why they're faltering because they're like, oh, there's nothing left to talk about. I guess we have to write. And
I
we
mean,
all know
and
writing is very hard.
it's
So
very hard.
yes, so you went there to be anti woke, and now that it's kind of like the day is done, the Epstein files are being released. Like
Oh
Trump
my
is
God, I've
blowing
had
Bubba. Like there, it's like it's fractured. There's nothing left.
surely like the fact that the internet gave us Trump like giving Clinton a blowjob,
Uh-huh.
like does feel like to me sometimes that God is real.
Listens. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, just when surely I can't take any more.
Turns out I have the capacity for much more.
Yeah. It's like he's just like, yeah, take a little bit, a
A
little more. Let's hit the
morsel. A
back of
morsel.
let's hit the back of
Yeah.
that throat, baby. Like,
Yes.
like let's go
Like
there.
Bill Clinton did.
Yeah. You can deep throat it. And so it's just like there's
Now, the more interesting question for me is will there be another geographic scene that pops up? Meaning a secondary or tertiary city. We all know, New York and LA are the big cities.
Mhm.
And then Chicago, I would say, is like a secondary market,
Sure.
as is Austin. Austin's smaller, mid tertiary.
Hmm.
But like Chicago, DC, Boston, Philly, like, yeah, those are like, smaller scenes, medium scenes.
Sure.
Do you see or hear another scene popping up?
I do.
Where?
I'm gonna say that I think it's going to be Chicago again.
What do you mean again? Like Chicago's already booming.
No, but it's like not, I feel like,
You think you're gonna have a renaissance?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I love that. I
Yeah,
love the
I
Chicago
do.
scene.
I do. I think that there's something happening with the audiences, shows that are popping up that feel really like something during pandemic where audiences learned how to be comedy audiences.
Uh-huh.
Because there was a period in time, and we talked about it a lot on here, where people were behaving badly.
Uh-huh.
You know, like audiences, we were out, and post pandemic, they were feral. Everyone was insane.
Uh-huh.
But in that time, I feel like audiences have become trained, and now they're really good at being comedy audiences. It's an educated population here.
Yeah.
Also, not just educated, but also like savvy. It's like it's not just rich people, it's everything.
Yeah.
So there's something about that. It's either that or I do think Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I've like, there's something about that scene that nurtures, like, if you have like a really unique voice, the scene will reward you.
Yeah.
Like, they're
I
like,
I
yes,
I've done a couple of spots in Atlanta while shooting there, and I thought the audiences were very savvy.
yes,
Yeah.
they're
Not a lot of
smart.
clubs,
No,
but yeah.
but there's something about, because I've known a couple of comics that have come out of there and gone to respective cities and really made big splashes immediately
Yeah.
because yeah, there's just something about the scene itself. Like we're talking about like the opposite of Austin, where if you have something new to give, the audience and the culture and the scene there is like, yes. And like takes you in, you get a lot of spots, you get to cultivate it. Same thing in Chicago. It's the reason why it's the land of the stulter and the squirm and all of that, right? It's just like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got to do. Like you
Yeah.
have the legs, run,
I
and
find
we'll give them.
I think you're right. So Atlanta has potential in the same way I think as Atlanta, I think Minneapolis has potential too because they are a really smart audience
Yes.
and they it's a cheaper city to live in.
Hmm.
That's the thing is that if you want an influx of artists, you got to make it affordable to live in. You can't just like be a huge like Miami's never going to be a scene. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to like be a young comedian in Miami. You know, like it's not a scene for that. It's too expensive. It's
And
too
nobody
ritzy.
wants to laugh there.
Everyone's too hot.
Everyone's too hot.
Yeah, no,
They're just like, yeah, what is the point of laughing?
no,
That's gonna ruin my face.
yeah.
They're,
I don't want
yeah, they're,
sightlines.
yes, they
Yeah,
do cocaine and they and each other. Like this is what they do in
yeah.
Miami.
Like San Francisco used to be a robust scene, like a secondary market back in the '90s. Like Margaret Cho
Hmm.
came out of there. Not Paul F. Tompkins, Greg Proops. Like there were a lot of like alti type comedians that came
Yeah,
out of
Dana. Yeah.
Dana Gold. So like but I don't see San Francisco returning there because it's been too priced out.
Hmm.
Like it's similar to what we're talking about in Miami. Like it's just like a bunch of fucking tech millionaires with no
Yes.
senses of humor, and the artist can't really survive there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think Atlanta and Minneapolis. So let's look out for it because I would love to like be part of a next boom somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
it's
thought,
not New York, but
yeah, I thought it was all signs point to New York.
well, of course, New York. But if not, if I had to go to a secondary city, like I'm thinking about like what other cities might boom. Because I
Yes,
just want to get
yes.
up, baby. I just want spots. Last night I did a show with this comic named Joyelle from New York, and she absolutely killed it. And I was telling her like, oh, I love New York. I want to go move there because like I'm begging for 3, 4 spots a week here. And she's like, bitch, I'm doing 3, 4 spots a night. And I'm like, yeah, I know that's what I want. And she's
Yeah.
like, come back, honey, come back, let's go. So I'm getting like really excited for it. And I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm manifesting, I'm visioning, and I'm like putting a clear picture in my head so that I could keep walking towards that.
Let me just ask you this. As we start to like get to the close of the year,
Yeah.
like how do you prepare and think about and manifest?
For the next year.
Hmm.
I usually like actually sit down and do like I write stuff out. and I put it on my fridge.
What do you write out?
Like, it's kind of my version or our version. Eric and I do it of New Year's resolutions, but we call them transformations, and
Okay.
we want to go from where we are this year to the arced place of next year. So, a clear example from last year was I wanted to go from self-producing to producing others. That's something I wanted to like take on. And this
Okay.
year I have helped produce other people's work, stuff like that. So like I'll write the literal thing I want to achieve and then like put it on the whatever on the fridge. What about you?
And then and then you visualize what it will look like.
Yeah, and I like look at the writing as I pass by. The more I look at it, the more I'm reminded to like, oh yeah, that's right. That's something I have to keep putting into the ether, saying it out loud. Saying it out loud is the biggest thing because the more I say it to people, like the New York thing, I want to move to New York. I want to move to New York. And you want to have a sublet, spring, New York, New York. The more I say it out loud, the more I am convinced and I'm marching orders. And also other people hear it and go, did he say sublet? I actually know my cousin Jane from Brooklyn who needs a sublet, that like clicks together. So like
Right.
that's how manifestation I think really works is that like you keep putting it out there and then somehow things people like listen inadvertently and or intentionally and go, oh, I could help you. Oh, that's easy for me to connect. Something like
Right. Like
that.
you're literally putting it out there, not just in your
Correct.
mind.
Correct. Saying it out. I think that's the important part of like,
Is speaking it out loud.
yeah,
I would
like
say
I
that
want
is
to
like
sell a
the
pilot.
most,
I want
yeah.
to sell my pilot. I want to pitch my pilot, blah, blah, and then you say it enough times, people are like, oh, you're pitching your pilot.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so difficult for me.
Saying it
Yeah.
instead of, okay. Tell me why. Is it like Pukuroa?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
But beyond that, it's not just the pukurum. It's not just the pukurum. Like it's like literally my anxiety around speaking something out means that we are leaving it open to,
Crumble?
yes, like
Oh.
evil eye. Like don't reveal your like
Like,
innermost.
like keep it
Like
close
don't,
to yourself?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't want to reveal my soft underbelly,
Oh,
which is what that is, which makes me more susceptible to being disemboweled.
sure. Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, that's sort of the impulse and fear that I have to,
Overcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the speaking it out loud is really the part that,
Well, let's practice it
yeah.
because every hard thing takes practice, right? It's just that we're not used to it. So, what's one thing that you've been keeping inside that you can say out loud in the safety of our podcast?
Right? um that I want to be touring regularly over the next year, headlining rooms, selling, and being
How many
having
weeks
like
of the year? 52 weeks in a year. How many weeks?
25.
Half the year.
I
Hell
would
yeah.
say 12 to 25.
Okay. Quarter to
Like
half
a
a year.
quarter, yes. You know what I mean? Give or take, like off, like maybe like one run and then like off weekend, and yes, to book
Whose
uh
career do you want? I would like Jeffrey
now.
Asmus's.
Yeah.
I
Jeff,
want Jeffrey Asmus's career.
I do not want a tour like that. I no interest. I would like, let me think here. Honestly, I would like a version of like Lewis Black's career
Oh, okay.
where he was on a show. He would pop in and be cameos and recognizable figure and other things, touring regularly, right? And had a steady paycheck, right? And like also, I believe he was also in Rooms, right? Like Larry Wilmore, same, like that sort of thing where
Okay.
you
Like you're both a
become
producer and also stage person.
because
Okay.
you are now being entrusted with like you have a certain level of taste, skill with regard to like production and producing and ushering projects through.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's really yeah, like Nicole Byer, sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Great.
I just said
20
that out loud.
2026. You did.
2026, we're doing
You want to be
this.
the Korean Nicole Byer.
I want to be the Korean. I want to be the Korean. Yeah, Nicole Byer. I want to be the Korean. Like, you know what? I want to be the Korean Ali Wong, except earlier when she was still writing for Modern Family.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that
You don't need a
kind of.
theater tour.
I don't need it. I mean,
Not
like,
yet.
sure, yeah, one or two theaters, sure, that'd be exciting. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but mostly clubs. Yeah.
And writing and like,
Yeah.
having like a certain amount of anonymity and still being able to be like a real comic, like as opposed to like, because at this point she's celebrity,
Yeah.
no
Oh,
desire.
let me just end with this. The celebrity comic thing, I just got a taste of this. I was texting you because last week I opened for Maz Jabroni.
Hmm.
And the first show completely I didn't completely bomb, but it was bad. And the
It
second
was
show
work.
it was work.
Yeah.
And the second show was better. But Maz has been doing comedy for 27 years.
Right.
He has almost 1 million followers on TikTok. I mean, on Instagram. And he told me that his
And
social
that's a
media.
better one. That's a better one.
What do you mean better one?
Because
Oh, on
IG,
Insta? Yeah.
it translates to real ticket sales.
But apparently it doesn't. He told me that his social media lady
Yeah.
told him that he is putting out too many stand-up clips, meaning the algo is pushing him down.
Wow.
So his people, his 1 million
Hmm.
followers, are not seeing his stuff. Imagine that. Imagine amassing 1 million followers and you still can't sell tickets. And she told him, you have to start doing sketches. Yeah. So he started doing sketches at 56 years old,
The
1 million
indignity.
followers, a career and body of work, specials everywhere. And now he has to do front facing camera sketches to sell tickets.
POV, your Iranian grandmother meets your blank
3 ways to
husband.
tell your Iranian wife that she ain't shit in the kitchen. Like, yeah,
The
yeah,
like the indignity.
yeah, yeah. So that part really made me want to throw up. Okay,
Yeah.
because he was telling me in the green room, and I was like, God, what the fuck? Secondly, when he does have his people show up, it was a packed house, but it's LA,
Yeah.
a lot of Iranians. If he goes to the middle of Massachusetts, it's going to be harder to sell, right? But
Yes.
he sold out both 200 seats per. The first show, median age 61.
Hmm.
Iranian aunties, uncles, some people like
Yeah,
sleeping
yeah, yeah.
in the back
Yeah.
because the wife just wanted to come,
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm doing my bits to his audience.
Hmm.
And I've opened for people who have their audiences,
Sure.
but this felt so different. Like they were so
Specific.
heterogeneous. Yes.
Yeah.
Homogeneous.
Yes.
Homogenous. Whereas like other people, like I open for big people um like Fortune or Bobby
Hmm.
or whatever, like they have like their like demos that are like thicker, like lesbians or whatever, but it's like
Yeah.
an array of people, right?
Yes.
His fans were almost completely Middle Eastern and
Mm-hmm.
completely either immigrant or 1.5 generation. And you and I are these type of people, but our fans are not, right? So
No.
like it was almost like doing one of those like Korean gala events that we do, like fundraisers where you go to like a
Yes.
Korean thing and it's like all ajumas and you're like,
Yes.
how do I cater my comedy to this, And it was hard because and what I realized was that how much better of a writer I have to be in order to make my comedy work for literally anyone. And
Yes.
that's what I learned from that was, oh fuck. I've been resting on my laurels of like, you know, huge reactions and great shows in New York, LA, Chicago, whatever, but when faced with like a homogenous like demographic, I was struggling. And I was like, "Oh shit, like fuck." It was a real like wake up call like I have to have material at least 20 minutes if I'm featuring for someone who has a very distinct audience where I have to have a feature set that is like
TV ready, basically.
yes,
I mean, there's like literally a
like almost a little
yes.
cornier, like less
Just
edgy,
broad,
less
right?
yeah,
More
more
broad.
broad.
Just and there's literally this moment where you're not going to believe what I'm going to say. Carlos Mencia is in this comedy documentary. I think it's Road Comic. I Am Road Comic, where he's literally like, if you're not killing it in Yakima, Washington, you
Yeah,
ain't shit.
you
If you
ain't
can't go to
shit.
Huntsville,
Yes,
Alabama, and killing, you ain't shit.
yes.
He's just like going through every single crazy market that has a club, right?
But
Yakima
listen.
does. I think it's a hail
I thought of it
like
this way though. Like it is true though. That is true. That is a mark of a pro where you can look at any room and kill any room, not
sure.
just the coolest rooms or like
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
The I thought about like if Shane Gillis was opening for Maj Brony,
Uh-huh.
I think he still would have had trouble,
Yes. He
right?
talks about like he did a recently on his pod, he was talking about a gig he did that was rough, where
Yeah.
they did not like him
Uh-huh.
at all.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. For me, I used to think this way, especially as someone who is like so caught up in sort of the romance of old-timey comedy, like the 90s and early 2000s, that era of like Kings of Comedy, the comedians of comedy, all that time. Sure, I agree with you. But also, I am now of the opinion, the same way Sabrina Carpenter was, where she's like, I don't really care if Tommy from whatever likes me.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know if I need that sort of validation as
You
much. I
you
don't need,
do
yes.
if you're in that situation. Like, because Sabrina Carpenter, she could sing to anyone and she won't know if they like her or not. We are comics. We know and we feel it.
To your
So it's
face.
different. It's different. I can't say, like, I don't care if you like me. That's my entire thing is that you like me.
Well, I mean, I will say this, okay? This is a pointed difference between my maturity,
Uh huh.
and you can take away from it whether or not I become more mature or more less mature from the
Okay.
story.
Okay.
One of my first road gigs was in Kenosha in a room at a hotel, like banquet hall.
Yeah.
Like it's like large round tables with men in literal overalls and their wives
Uh huh.
looking at me and not liking me one bit.
Yeah.
Like I represent to them just a heathen that enjoys cigarettes, probably, and weed and abortions. You know what I mean? Like they hated me,
Uh huh.
did not understand. I was talking too fast for them, bombing in a crazy way, in a way that the booker was like, "You have to change your material for the next." I was there for the weekend,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's just like, they're not understanding anything,
Anything you're saying.
and
Yeah.
you're saying, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I was like, okay, got it. So I fixed it for the second show. And when I tell you that I was shaking and jiving, I was giving you the full, um, you know, Asian, like mom, like omo omo, like the whole thing,
Uh-huh.
pantomiming, big, whatever, and did better.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not proud of the material I did that evening.
Sure. I get that.
If you're thinking about like being canceled for something now,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
That's
know what I mean? Like crimes,
yeah.
crimes against Asians.
But what I'm
That's
saying
that's what I was
is
perpetrating.
I believe that there is a happy medium between the two where like as a comic, I'm not going to say you. I want to be able to have a set that is broad enough
Hmm.
to feature for anyone. Like I hated that experience of like,
Yes.
oh man, I don't have the skills or the material to meet this moment.
I think it's more about the material
It's all
because
material.
it's all about the material, honestly. Because now,
Yeah.
in the second time when I come around, there's this like older white crowd, same thing. They're not liking me, and I'm pivoting in the middle to material that I didn't want to do.
Correct.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a part of a set that I was currently working or trying to hone, but I reverted back to it, was able to pivot and also like tone it down, but also I wasn't ashamed of the set that I did. But I
That's
also
great.
didn't care, but I also didn't care that I was losing people regardless. Because
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, this is the material I have. This is as broad as like and universal as I get. If you
Right.
can't get on board, like I
But you
can't shuck
had
and jive.
24 hours to figure that out.
Oh no, the second time I just had the 20 minutes
The second
inside.
time
I
you went
pivoted.
to Kenosha? Oh, okay.
No, no, I mean this is a
Second
second
night.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
this is
But
a
that's what I
different
mean.
show. More
You
recently.
didn't
More
have. Oh,
recently.
I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't like the set. You did, but you did better.
At the more recent show, yes. I
Yes.
didn't like, and I had material, but again, I didn't really care if they because it's just like this is more universal material. If you can't get on board, like I can't. I pivoted already.
Yeah.
I'm giving you this stuff. And like when you say like being able to do any crowd, like
Yeah.
yes, the writing of it, I don't know, but it is material.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's like your angle to it. Like, for example, like I was like, oh, there's a lot of immigrants here, so I'm gonna do a lot of like immigrant stuff. But my material is about like how my immigrant family slash my immigrant mom is ridiculous and out of touch and blah blah.
Sure.
But they are like, why are you being mean to your mom? You know what I mean? Like, because
Right,
they
right,
are siding with my mom,
right.
right? So like they're looking at me as like one of their kids complaining. So they're like,
Mhm.
there's like a it is material, but it's also your take that they're like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I'm not saying that I need like a watered down version, but I need a set that I could pull out like an emergency set.
Yeah, because I mean, I do also think that sometimes the best way, my most universal material tends to be stuff where I am making fun of myself
Correct.
or where the person I'm punching towards is I'm punching like whatever I'm being mean to, but ultimately, again, it does come back and
I'm the
reflects
idiot. Yeah.
I'm the idiot, right? I also do think like personal story always is pretty universal if the take is again, I am
Yeah.
at fault.
Let me tell you, Maz was doing a lot of like he has a great hour but most of it is like the thing that they're relating to, which is like, aren't we misunderstood?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
like, isn't it crazy being Middle Eastern in here? And also puns. They love puns. the amount of puns this man made. And I was looking over at the host, and the host is like cracking up. He's a
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
who opens for him all the time.
Sure.
And he didn't really do well either, but he's like cracking up at his puns. And I'm like, am I crazy?
Hmm.
Like, I don't think this is funny, but the room is like dying.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I need 20 minutes of wordplay and puns.
Well, I would say this with the puns because I recently did another sort of like it was a Middle Eastern esque. This is what I will say about like older immigrant crowds because they had to learn the language.
Yeah. They get off on the fact that they get it.
I
Yeah.
think it's much more like that understanding of it is more like because the thing is with puns, you're not feeling it. It's because you're almost like reading
Yeah.
the joke
Yeah.
because they're translating it. That's almost what they're doing. That's why it's
So they
funny to
feel
them.
smart. Yeah. Yeah.
And also they're seeing it. It's not like the same where if you're like a native speaker, you're like, okay. But
Yeah.
if you're translating and you see the word in your mind,
Yeah.
in your workbook,
Yeah. I know.
like that's for
I need
sure.
to that's gonna be my next step for next
Puns.
year is a 20-minute pun set. Because I need it. Like I realize that I have my point of view and my style of comedy, which is very
Yes.
aggressive and acerbic and very welcomed in New York City,
Same.
but
Same.
not a lot of other places.
They think you're so mean. I've
So
had
mean. Yeah,
people are like visibly recoiling from
correct.
my energy.
Correct.
And I think I'm being really I'm like toning it down because I'm
Me too.
smiling,
Me
you
too.
know? And I
Yeah.
think it's like chill.
I'm being charming and they're like, no.
They see my smile as a sneer.
Yes. And I used to rebuke them for it, but now I'm starting to understand, like what you said about Carlos Mencia. Like, you ain't shit if you can't do it everywhere. Like, just because you could play to your own rooms, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That's like if Maz couldn't kill a room in New York
Yeah. But I
without
think
a
he
bunch
can.
of. He can. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying. Like,
can.
he's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
His material, I was telling you this, like, he has a very, like, Gen Xy style
Sure.
of comedy, which is like not our style,
Mm-mm.
but it fucking works. And they are well crafted. So like, and it's the punches build. So like he's getting like ka 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 act out, close to the next thing, transition. You know, like he's doing the thing. So you're like, okay, it's not really making me guffaw, but like
Sure.
the room is, and that's all that matters. Like it doesn't matter if you make me laugh. Like you have your job is to make the room laugh. And
He
that
can
first
play the
show, I
room.
failed.
Yes. He can play
I
the room.
definitely
Yeah.
failed that first show,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it really made me think. I was like, God, man, I felt so good coming back from New York. I'm like, I'm unstoppable. And then I do one
I'm
show in front of
unstoppable.
Moses. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Well, I mean, it's just some of it is simply the skill.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if Maz did some version of like a more acerbic, more whatever set. I do feel like sometimes an audience, depending on the audience, they're just like they're
Not into it.
responding to the sounds that you're fucking saying. They're like, ah, 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 because they can feel when they're supposed to laugh. And
Sure.
especially when the comic is as certain and as practiced, they just trust that what you're saying is funny. And so I am laughing, even though they may not even
Sure.
understand the
There's a
jokes.
little bit of that, but it was, I mean, he was killing them. And not
I
just like
mean,
the old people, like they were young boys. Like they were like 20-year-old kids, like a whole
yeah.
row of like Jordanian boys, like coughing, like almost throwing up from laughing. I'm like, holy shit. Like it was cool to watch. And like
It's cool to watch like pros
pros,
do
just
it
going
at a
like the
level.
27
Yes.
years of pro. I'm like, oh shit. And then he gave me some notes about my bit, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll try that. So like, anyway, all that to say, you cannot. There's no shortcut. There's no shortcut.
None.
You can tell he's been doing it for 27. I've been doing it for 10. Like you
Yeah.
can tell. Like it was
Yes.
obvious. And that's
Yes.
the thing that I am getting inspired to work on because I'm like, I want to close that gap.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's nice to know that you can continue to grow,
Correct.
right? Like
Correct.
because like
There's
when you
more
get
to do.
I mean, I will just say this, and speaking on like just as we wrap up this year and like growing and stuff like that, there are times when I, you know, this like as we age and we reach this dustiness. By the way, I had a nightmare where like this teen was injecting me with Dysport.
What's that?
It's like the more intense Botox.
Oh.
She was injecting it into my mouth,
Oh.
and she kept calling me Dusty.
Oh.
Never forget it. The way she was just like,
Wow.
because she's by my mouth too, right? She's like, oh, you're so dusty, and like doing
Ah.
this. So you know what it's like as you age. You do feel a little static, stayed, dusty, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's exciting to surprise yourself, you know, with growth, right? Challenging yourself with something new. And I will say this, I'm constantly disappointing myself in new ways. And
Yes.
every time I do that, I could get down on myself, but there's a part of me where I'm like, it's kind of crazy that,
You
you know,
can
after
still
all
do
these
it?
years, yeah.
Yeah, there's still more to go. And that's the beauty of comedy is that it's never not humbling. Never.
It's true. It's
Oh
true.
God. All right. Well, come see us in our respective shows and our cities. Thank you so much for listening. We'll tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.